Hello and welcome to Ink of Fate, a primal Viking adventure. And this is, I don't know, my brain just kind of stopped. I wanted to say like 6 different things at once, and then it's like, say none of them. Hi! My name is KJ Potup. I'm your dungeon master. Let's introduce the players before I try to say another word. I'm gonna put the thing in the chat because I'm remembering this time. So players go around, introduce who you are, who you're playing, and anything else you want to say. Let's start with Elizabeth. We missed you last week.
Cool. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I play Ada, the seemingly human but not actually human wizard.
Beautiful. Nick, did my command not work in the chat?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Cull, who is the grim fighter and is really angsty.
Thank you.
Play the hot
Devil?
boy.
Yeah, Devil, and I'm playing Northra, the ranger tiefling that is way too old.
Of course. Joanna?
Hello, I am Joanna. I play Odrune, the reluctant barbarian.
And Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm playing the Squirrel Beast-born Warlock. And your squirrel fact for the day is squirrels can't vomit. So the next drinking competition we're going to do, that's who determines the loser.
Wow.
You learn so much every day.
Every day, you learn so
Alright.
much. I'm full of skills.
You can't vomit,
never
I
known so
can't
much
get
about
drunk.
squirrels.
Like, it's the best thing for drinking contests.
You just have to tell
Okay.
anybody. That's fine.
So Ink of Fate is a Viking-themed but not necessarily Viking-accurate adventure. Why are the chat commands not working? Oh my goodness. I'll have to investigate that later. I remembered though.
You
I
did.
remembered.
Oh, yeah.
Be proud
You
of me.
remembered. You get credit for that. It's not your fault
do.
they're not working.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Ink of Fate is based on the Arcanum Worlds module, Raiders of the Serpent Sea. It is set in a world called Grimnir that is Viking-themed, but not necessarily Viking historically accurate, so do not criticize any deviations from anything you might know about Norse mythology. Grimnir is a primal world with mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and all sorts of fun beasties. It is currently entering its 3rd straight year of winter, which everybody in Grimnir is dealing with. And our band of heroes are important for some reason. They have some kind of destiny that awaits them, as indicated by the tattoos on their wrists or elsewhere on their body, wherever you decide to get it. And this is a very serious campaign, everybody. This is really, really dark. Lot of super serious stuff going on. I had a moment earlier where I'm like, okay, like I swear this is a serious campaign, but also wouldn't this thing be hilarious if I did that? So
It's a serious campaign, but it's also a game.
So,
So
yeah, it is a game. It is a game. And yeah, it'll probably get dark later. That can be later. For now, though, let's talk about what happened last time. So you all are in a town called Nowhere, village of outcasts, people who are not part of any major raiding clan, misfits, some ne'er-do-wells, maybe criminals, people who might be away from major clans for whatever reason. You have the people that you had on your original crew, but you lost your ship, so you had to get a new one. You managed to win one with a drinking contest against what's our in-universe word for him? A Dritsek? He's a Dritsek. Real
I was calling
real
him a
spawn of
Quim,
witch.
but you know, whatever.
Yeah, real spawn of a witch, who probably didn't deserve the ship, so you won it off of him, with Odrune and Hap magnificently drinking him under the table, with some excellent support from Cull and Northra, in the wings supporting, maybe making ghostly whispers haunt him.
That was the best.
So a few loose threads that will have to be tied up. Number 1, you have a new ship. probably a new crew. Let's probably some more to find out about that. Big one that's still hanging is Northra. Is on kind of a side quest. There's a map that somebody managed to get from that. What's the nice word for crazy?
From you mean from lady fingernails or lady toenails?
Egil, the
Egil, there's
tiefling
the
who
name.
suffers from nightmares about shipman toenails. She seems to have lost her map to some merchant. The merchant will give the map to Northra, but only if Northra manages to get a certain halfling named Toki out of town. Northra was unsuccessful by threatening to dismember her with a giant sword. For whatever reason, who knows why that was unsuccessful. So maybe with the help of the rest of her crew, she'll get to the bottom of that mystery. But just before we get to that, we're gonna catch up on what Ada, our party's wizard, was up to. Now, Ada, where did we last leave off with you before last session?
So I think we left off with the rune thrower, and I dipped. I was feeling like shit and had a scary rune. So she ran away for a minute.
Yes. What was the music I was gonna play for this? Sometimes I forget.
I forget. Did you get the rune tattooed, Ada?
I did.
Perfect. Okay. So, it's probably a little spooky, but you're probably not in a great mood.
I'm feeling a little spooky. That works.
Yeah. So what's kind of going through Ada's head at this point as you leave the rune thrower?
I think that Ada is in full like flashback mode, or she has not been the like people from her past never really fully leave her mind, but she's been with these new people. There's a mysterious head in a box. Like, it's been a little out of sight, out of mind, and it's just like that weight on her shoulders is right back with her.
Right. Yeah, so a lot definitely on her mind. Oh my gosh, I had the track like queued up and ready to go. I'm like, this is the track I want, and it was like right there, like waiting for me to hit play on it, and I just went and go. We'll do that instead. There, that's a little bit more like mysterious, but not like something's waiting right around the corner.
A little pensive.
Yeah. Okay, so would you be willing to head like because I remember you were having like a big chronic pain day. You were at 2 levels of
Mhm.
exhaustion, right?
Mhm.
So would you be heading like right back to the mead hall to your rooms, or would you be wanting to go anywhere else in town?
I think I would be going right back to the mead hall. I think that Zealand is also someone who Ada feels like comfortable and safe with. I think she helped her when she first came to Nowhere, so she would go back there for sure.
Cool.
Stop it.
So you make your way through, and having lived here, you manage to avoid any of the main crowded thoroughfares. You kind of make your way along the river. You're passing through kind of a warehouse area, sort of between the shipbuilding yard and the docks. Um, Make a perception check. You're at disadvantage, right?
I am.
Okay. So, you
And my speed is halved.
yeah, have just like I do have a way around this, but just for fun, can you have story also make a perception check?
For sure. We love story. Also bad.
That's fine. Yeah, so you're kind of like in your own world at this
Mhm.
point. You're very much in your head, not really. You're kind of on autopilot, not really having much awareness of your surroundings. Um, so it's not until you're almost on, uh, almost like all the way into this space between warehouses that you see a dragonborn that you recognize. Um, so uh, you know his name is Asvard. Asvard was one of the men who worked for Gunnar, and you definitely
Mhm.
heard his voice uh, the night of the fire.
How close am I to him?
You're pretty much just around the corner. He's like close enough that like if he starts wandering off, he might walk right past you.
Okay. I am going to stay hidden in the corner, like
Mhm.
kind of hidden back in a shadow, and kind of bamf into Story and follow skittering after him wherever he goes.
Yeah, let me actually move you to a map where you can kind of see what's going on. And I'm gonna move some tokens around because that's not like right where you are. Okay. So you see him going into um, this building here. The door kind of just hangs open. It looks like just a warehouse area. He also appears to be alone and extremely drunk.
Okay.
He's like humming a little rowing song to himself.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. I'm going to walk in.
Okay. And you're not like sneaking in, right? You're just bold faced. Okay.
I'm just gonna walk in. I don't think I can sneak right now, anyways.
Fair. Absolutely valid. Yeah. You feel like in your bones like that you're just not like why is it today of all days? Like
Yes,
you know, like,
100%.
yeah. So he's kind of like leaning very heavily on a crate, and he just kind of blearily blinks over at you, and he's like, "Hey, go find your own place to sleep." Huh? And he like kind of does a double take at you, looks you up and down. So you're Civ's girl.
Oh, you do know who I am then. And why would that matter to you, Asvad?
Sorry, say that part again.
Why would that matter to you, who my mother was?
Didn't matter to me much. It was just a job.
What job?
Uh, roll a straight persuasion check, no disadvantage.
Okay. Can I use my inspiration?
Yes, you can.
Okay. It's not a nat 1.
It's not at one. That's pretty much all you needed.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. He just kind of like blinks up at you, and um, he's like, Gunnar was paid by some Bander fella, some lord. Uh, Paid him a bunch of gold. Said it was like for revenge. Uh, I,
Do you know this lord's name?
It was King Spedrison. No, Senric. King Senric. Coin was good.
Interesting. The Luton do love their coin, don't they? Hmm. Where is Gunnar now?
Probably back in Tun Arg. Got a fancy. Got a good deal with the Linyal, getting fancy estate.
Was I supposed to die that night?
Oh, he's like barely conscious at this point. It looks like this might be the last piece of information you can get from him. He says, I don't know. He said just the job was kill the raiders that killed his son's family. That's all I know.
I throw a copper at his feet and I leave.
Okay. Hold on one sec. You hear almost like just an impulse, like a thought in the back of your head. Asvard kind of like teeters over and is just snoring, completely blacked out. So there's the tiniest little whisper in your head that says, kill him now. You don't have to listen to it. It's not a compulsion. It's not a command or anything.
I know. Did anyone see me come in?
No.
I throw a mind sliver at him just to make that hangover even worse.
One sec. Let me see what that does to him. That's an intelligence save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He definitely fails it. He does not wake up because he is just so stinking drunk, and you roll max damage. He looks near death as you do that. He does not wake up.
Okay.
His
I'll
nose
leave.
starts to bleed. Okay. All right. All right. So, before we get into Northra's quest, one thing I do want to update everybody on. You all earn another point of glory. Let me put in the chat what you get. What are our lovely players taking home today?
A brand new car.
You get hold on one sec. Any feasting hall associated with your clan We'll provide drink and food for free as long as you tell the story. However, your deeds annoy non-raiders, and you have disadvantage on intimidation or persuasion attempts against the Feindor. Uh-oh. That's what you get.
Incredible.
That was amazing.
I need that every time.
I know, right?
Careful what you wish for, because it will happen at like weirdly dramatic moments.
Amazing.
I think
Every
next
YouTube ad ever.
I think next time Rolf should be the one telling us what we get for our glory points.
Please.
There
I
you
would
go.
love to hear that in Rolf's voice,
Just full
Understood.
campaign.
putting it out there.
Rolf is
Giving
the
all this, like,
MC.
You get disadvantage on persuasion checks.
Whoa!
Like, because for
That's
some
not
reason he
good.
specifically is able.
It'd be funny to listen to him explain and like give his commentary.
Right. Okay. So go ahead and add that to your character sheets. And while we're moving back to the map of the city, I do want to do one little correction on something I've said before. I criticized the writers of the Raiders of the Serpent Sea campaign book. I want to, at the same time, give extreme praise to the artists for this campaign book, because the character portraits, the maps, they are stellar. John Stevenson did a lot of the maps. He did this city map. And can we actually like zoom in on this?
Absolutely. Where do you want it zoomed?
Like
It's
at
a really
least,
cool map.
let's go to the mead hall, like the
Mead
Eye of the Storm. We'll
Hall.
start there. Yeah.
The Eye of the Storm.
But yeah, like zoom into like at least 100%, because like the detail
I'm at
on all
250.
these buildings is like, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, look at that. You got a little pool right here for the horsies to drink out of.
Yeah, it's like
There's the raid leaders hall right
tiniest little details
there.
here. Yeah.
Yes. Where's the
Alright,
stump?
So
Where's the stump?
Stump is like way off.
Oh, never mind.
east.
Stump is way the heck out there. I can't find it. Sorry.
That's fine. But yeah, just I adore these maps, and we should zoom in on them all the time and appreciate them. because
I
love
can
them so much.
absolutely do that. I am also just fighting off my cat from eating my charcuterie board, so excuse me for a
Of
second while the
course.
map looks wonky.
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so to get the party reunited, Ada, does anybody notice anything different about you as you reunite? I will say, go ahead and clock one long rest
Okay, cool.
for you, because there was enough time for you to get a full like 8 hours at the mead hall before everybody else showed up.
Amazing.
Yep. So when you're going back downstairs to everybody else, you see a very disgruntled blonde dude, also extremely drunk, being like hauled up into his seat by his buddies. And you see your party just kind of walking out the door, strutting a little bit. Hap is being like half carried by Cull.
Amazing.
Odrun, if you look
and,
really closely, you can see water pooling around their boots, coming down their legs, because we have no
And
stomach.
you definitely see, yeah, and you definitely see Northra seems to be distracted by something. Like there's something on her mind that she wants to get done.
I'll just come up behind them and. What the fuck did that guy do to you?
He was a racist arsehole.
Oh,
Therefore,
good job.
Hap and I drunk him under the table. Cole provided some ambiance, Northra glared, and we won us a ship.
Beautiful. You did? Does a crew come with it?
Sadly, no, but on our way oh, this is going to sound terrible. On our way back from the Rune Thrower, we ran across a woman who has nightmares of a ship made of toenails, but she actually does know a lot of people, and so she's getting us a crew.
Who doesn't have nightmares of a ship made of toenails?
I mean, if I had a ship made of toenails, oh goodness gracious, in my dreams, I would probably have nightmares too. Hey! Ow! My cat just bit me!
Very abruptly, you all hear a voice coming from behind you. I think I found you a crew.
Oh shit! Ada, speaking of, this right here is Eagle.
Stories full hissing. Just like snuck up. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you must be one of the crew members. Yes. Well, yes. Like I wanted to say, I think I found enough people to work on your ship. Were you able to get the ship?
That we did. As I'm waving my knife. That we did. We got a ship. We were heading that way. I think Narthra also had something she wanted us to look at. Should we look at Narthra? Should we go see what you wanted to see before or after we look at the ship?
Oh,
Okay,
well,
we'll
the crew
go
won't be able
good
to meet you
before.
until the morning.
I'm sorry, there were both of you. Say that again, Narthra.
I think we should go before. Maybe save the ship for when it's daylight out.
The crew won't be able to meet you until the morning, so that would work perfectly.
Alright, I'm on board with it. Either way.
I think you'll like them. They're all very excited to earn their keep.
Well, thank you very much.
Are
Alright.
they clan members or are they mostly Varang?
I believe all of them are Varang. None of them were affiliated. They seemed perfectly content to join an unaffiliated crew.
Wonderful.
Sounds great.
Perfect. I will meet you at your ship in the morning, and I'll provide you a dossier on each of them.
Thank you very much.
You
Narthra.
did a good job.
Thank you. Thank you. She seems like taken aback that you're like thanking her and saying something positive to her. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna go rest. Thank you. Yes, see you in the morning. Yes. It's like she's trying to like remind herself of social skills.
Northra has a big smile on her face.
Dossier, that's very, very professional.
Isn't it though? I was a bit surprised that we just kind of found her on the side of the street, but it was a bit like, you know, fate, if you believe in fate.
We're all
Arthur.
here for a reason, aren't we?
So they tell me. Narthra, how about you lead away? Tell us what's going on.
Northra will start walking out. So, I found out we can get a very good map that our friend actually wrote but lost to this merchant or something. Either way, we need to scare someone out of town to be able to get this map.
Why do they need to be scared of town?
Because I don't have money to pay for the map.
Okay, well, yes, there's that. Did
How much
the
is the
person
map?
who hired you tell you why they wanted this person gone?
None of my business. They want them gone, let them gone. That's it.
Everybody except Northra, go ahead and make an insight check.
Am I making an insight check or am I still unconscious?
You have resumed consciousness. What do you say as you first wake up?
Where's the ship? Because we totally won the ship, right?
We're on our way, Hap. We just have to run an errand first.
Okay, I'm just gonna pretend I heard the last bit of it as I was waking up. So let's see. Insight. Yeah, that's not great. That makes sense. That is very much a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's all right. Both
Very
of us are.
appropriate.
I'm riding a high. You're coming off of being drunk. You're tired. Apparently, Cole's
Yeah,
the
well,
only
it's
one
not
who's
gonna
paying
vomit
attention.
all over your shoes or anything, so it's fine.
Yeah, Cole is kind of the only one who really notices, which kind of makes sense because you're the only one who's sober and not in pain and not the person who's being incited right now. So you see a look in Northra's eyes, and Northra, you can correct me on this if I'm off base at all, but you just see like a lot of history. That there's kind of like a numbness there. When she's talking about just this disregard, it's just a very strong jadedness, where it's like she is just completely disregarding just genuinely doesn't care about the reason or what's going on with the halfling. It's just a means to an end.
I think Cole is going to keep that to himself because, to a certain extent, he understands, considering he was used to be a sword for hire, so he won't say anything to the others about it.
So, you all make it to the tents, and I can actually move you on the map with a little focus ping, so you can just
Before
like
we
appear
go too
there.
far, since my D&D or Roll20 is not working at all, I got my own dice. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So that should put you all right at the tents.
Oh,
Okay,
it
so
didn't really. I didn't
it
move.
Is Roll20 just being weird for everybody today?
I mean, I can move
I
myself.
just moved myself.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh yeah, it might not have moved your token. It's just like look over
Oh.
here on the map.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought you said it was gonna move us. And I'm sorry, I don't know why my
No,
camera's
sorry.
going out of focus, but it is. So.
That's fine.
Okay.
Everything's messing
Still
up today. And one day we're all prepared with makeup.
Roll20's not gonna work, cameras aren't working, whatever.
You all see very much the same thing that let's see, we're not really in the middle of the city. I feel like we need like the outskirts of the town kind of music.
What time of day is it?
It's going to be evening. So as you pass through most of the city, there are people who are like celebrating and enjoying the Feast of Serpents. You even see what looks like might be a little parade about to start near the Great Hall, with like a large puppeted serpent. Just like one of those like multi-people like snake puppets.
Question.
Yes.
As it looks like we're gonna kind of go by that on the way. As we swing by, can I see if the mayor's still at the Great Hall?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Okay.
What are you hoping for here?
I just want to brag to her that we kicked his ass. That's all I want to do. Is I just want to let her know. No death,
You need to
please.
brag to everybody. Everyone that hates them
Sorry.
needs to know.
No death,
Wrong
please.
type.
I don't like death.
Yep. Yeah, so you do see sorry, I'm gonna cough a little bit more for a second. You do see her, so go ahead and tell her whatever you want.
Okay. Well, hello, Mayor. Just so you know, your favorite little racist prick got taken down a couple of notches. He doesn't have a ship anymore. Poor thing.
Oh, what a shame.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, his ship now belongs to us. What a terrible thing.
Well, hey, next time you're around the eye of the storm, round of drinks on me, eh?
Thank you. Heads, I hope he doesn't start to cause more problems for you after this, just because he's feeling like, frisky. If he is, just look us up. We'll put him down another notch or two for you.
Oh, I can handle myself, but I'll certainly call on you if I need reinforcements.
Sounds good. Have a good festival, Mayor.
You as well.
Thank you.
the the sounds of the festival die down as you get further into the outskirts, where all the tents covered in canvas, hide, very patchwork kind of look to them. They all come into view. You see various half-orcs, dragonborn, tieflings, number of halflings. And you do see the tent that Northra visited the day before. The same halfling, Toki, is sitting in front of it at a small campfire. Seems to be cooking a small amount of meat over it. She sees you all approach, and she sees Northra, and sees that her sword is apparently already out. And she's like, Whoa, whoa, whoa! I already told you I'm not leaving. I don't know. I got nothing to do with whatever you've got going on.
Do I recognize her? Them? I didn't catch pronouns.
It's her.
Okay.
Uh, you may have seen her around town once or twice. Yeah, you've heard she has beef with the Linyal, but you haven't heard specifics.
Odrun would probably just go and sit down next to her and just kind of look over and say, "So, my friend here tells us that somebody's got a bit of a beef with you in this town."
Linyal doesn't feel particularly welcoming to those of us out here. Doesn't think there's enough room or lumber, whatever, to do any kind of expansion or even give jobs to people around here what need them.
Why might somebody, and I'm not saying it's the Linyal because, well, I guess it's not. Why would a certain items dealer want you out of town?
Which dealer was it? Was it Allwell?
I'll kind of look at Northra. I'm like, I don't know who it was.
Do
you remember the name?
Away that.
I'm guessing it was Allwell because I may have gotten her a bad deal on some items that weren't as magical as I implied them to be, and so she just figured I'm ruining business for her, I guess. I don't think that's a cause for dismemberment. Looking over at Northra.
A great shit deal isn't worth a hand.
It's a pretty strict place where it is worth a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
We're not quite that strict around here.
Did you imply on purpose? Did you know that these things weren't as magical, or were you lied to, perhaps? Trying to kind of hint at her.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Hang on. Okay. 22.
Okay. Okay, I may have implied, but it's not like there's any other good options for income around here. Solorphan down at the docks, he only wants to hire, humans and elves and dwarves, and none of us folk out here are able to get jobs around there. And the Linyal doesn't want to expand on housing, so none of us can get those kind of jobs or any kind of houses in town. And I mean, there's not really a lot of good opportunities for us.
So, really, you could argue you don't even live in town. You've already been run out of town.
That is a fair assumption, Ada.
We love a technicality.
It's wonderful. She's technically not even in town.
It's
Arya.
true.
Hold on, why am I supposed to leave town again? Like,
Oh, this dealer that you pissed off. And really, if you're dealing in magical items, you should have the skill to determine whether or not they're actually magical. So I think they're just angry. Do you think we need an item from this person and they want you out of town? Do you think if we paid you a small sum that you could just pretend to leave for a couple of days till we get out of here with what we need, and then you can just come right back? And we never had this conversation, of course.
She says, what kind of sum we talking?
Well, let's see. Hap, how's our treasury looking?
You just see Hap just like holding the bag. Well, I mean, we have it. We do have one full of really cool stuff.
Cool
What
stuff. I take
what
cool
are you
stuff.
looking for? We got some shiny stuff. We got some pretty stuff. Lot of
Any-
sparklies.
We got
Oh,
stuff
anything
that
I
hurt.
can sell. Ignores
I'll
Northra.
throw in
Anything I can sell.
I'll throw in 2 gold from my personal purse.
We could give her a gem.
Yeah, I mean, we got like a little pile of gems, didn't we?
Yeah, we have 2 rubies and 2 pearls. The rubies are worth 40 each. The pearls are worth 100 each.
We also have that
Ruby.
random powder. I don't
Ooh,
think any
ooh.
of us need
What
it.
about these beautiful green plates? You have a home? Don't you want plates for a home? I just don't really care about the plates.
I also
Uh,
care more about the gems than the plates.
How much were they worth?
30 gold.
That's still
It's
not
It's
bad.
a set of plates. It's a set of plates.
That's still not
It's not just
bad.
one.
30 gold is
You
not
could
bad.
you could use it with a friend during this lovely feast. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Or you could sell it.
She actually does take a look at the plates, looks at them really closely.
Oh, if we're gonna look really closely at them, I'm just gonna start hyping them up. It's like we actually got these plates. Well, we were on a mission, and it is like this really interesting tower that we went to. Very magical, very mystical, very historical.
On
And
magical,
that's where we
I
got
cast
these
light on the
plates.
nicest one.
You cast a light on it.
Just a very subtle light, just a slight
Like a
glow on
sheen.
the nicest one.
Subtle magic
Just a nice
sheen.
little shimmer on the word
Hap-
magical.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Hap, roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. So yeah, I forgot where we got these plates. It doesn't matter. I'm claiming they're from this ancient magical tower.
I think they
because
were.
that part is true. So you said persuasion?
Yes, with advantage.
Okay. Hey!
We love to see it.
25.
That's money.
Yes.
25.
She's like, just for a couple days? You
Give us
got
about
yourself a deal.
Look,
Give us
you
about 3.
leave until we leave. How about that? And we're gonna be leaving soon. Don't worry.
Just stay scarce until we're
Well,
gone. You'll see our ship leaving.
That
Fine.
I can certainly do. This will certainly tide me over long enough to maybe be a bigger stick in the mud for the Linyal.
Wonderful.
You're lucky this
But
time.
yeah, she happily. and you there? She looks at Northra. It's like, whatever stick you've got going on, I hope you get it fixed.
You're lucky I got friends. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Get off my lawn and all that.
No, it's not your lawn because you're getting out of here. It will be in a few days, I'm sure, but. Bye-bye.
She goes into her tent to like pack up her things in a little rucksack.
All right, Narthra. Shall we head back to this dealer and take a look at the map you were talking about?
Yeah. And I'll lead the way to the dealer.
Okay.
On our way back, before we get to the dealer, when we're at kind of a spot where we can pull off to the side, I want to go to Northra. Northra, don't fuck with people in this town. This is somewhere people come when they have nowhere else to go.
Fine. Whatever.
What's going through Northra's head?
Oh, she 100% just doesn't understand. Because she had nowhere to go and she couldn't even come here. She was in the wilds.
Make an insight check, Northra.
I have no clue what my stuff is, so we go off whatever to roll it. 15.
15. You kind of reflect on like the distance that you've felt with how you've been out of place, removed from any kind of sense of community or connection with people. But you, as you're leaving the area with the tents, you see a number of children. There's a little half-orc girl and a little tiefling boy with really strongly ridged horns. And they're by the tents and they seem to be playing together. One of them's chasing the other with a little puppet, going like, "I'm gonna turn you into a frog," like playing a little like witch chasing game. Um, and it's just a little blip on your like emotional radar, but like it's like your empathy level just had a little blip of life in it for just a moment there. Um, like feelings you haven't felt in a while, like a really long time, um, kind of resurface that like you might not have had community, but there's kids here that need community. There's people that need each other. So maybe it just for a moment you think maybe it doesn't have to suck for everybody, even though it sucked for you. So it's just for a brief moment, but you still feel that sense of like unfairness and bitterness, and you kind of feel back to like your normal self. But just for that moment, um, you feel what everybody else, especially what Ada was trying to say to you. Um, so after that, it's pretty quick work getting to the merchant. She happily hands over the map when she finds out, like, oh, like you managed to bribe her to get her away, and so she does hand over. Go ahead and add Ego's map to your inventory. You'll have a chance to uh, glean some information from that there. There seem to be the symbols that Norther was noticing, but it might take some more time to really look into it. But you do now have Ego's map back.
Woohoo!
So at this point,
Treasury.
Will you say that again?
Just add that to the treasury. I can't edit my inventory, so treasury.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the loot for now.
Yes. So yeah, the Feast of Serpents is in full swing. There's not a lot of like activities other than like more drinking in the mead hall. There is the small parade. There are merchants selling things. Is there anything specific that y'all want to do? I could change this to festival music, actually. Now we're like back in town. It is a little bit after sundown at this point.
I think Cull is gonna kind of like lean down to Hap and just be like, I really wanted another scimitar.
Well, we gotta find you one. Let's go. So I'm not really doing anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead as if I know where I'm going. And then I want to immediately turn around and walk straight up to Ada and be like, hey, this is your place, right? Where can we find a really good scimitar?
Yes, of course. After she had that outburst, Ada kind of deflated, and you can kind of see her like pulling herself back up. Yeah, this way, and I lead them to the armorer.
Yeah, you do direct them to the shopping district on the south side of the river, which is right. Let me do a focus ping. Zoom. Right there.
Wait, can you do that again? I didn't have it up.
Well, when I do the focus
there we
ping,
go.
it just moves like, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
I was moving the map and I didn't see it.
No, all good. So yeah, it's mostly just regular shops. There's a few stalls that have like large fish hanging from the rafters. One of them seems to have like a giant bat spread out between supports. The merchants aren't exactly like clamoring for attention because it's still kind of a smaller town. But it is a trading port. You do see one stall where there seems to be a Baindoor wine merchant.
Oh no, no. Not that one.
And a little bit further down, you do find an armory. You wanted a new scimitar?
Just another one so you could dual wield.
Yeah.
Hopefully not
Yeah.
Bandor. We don't have a great reputation with them at the moment.
No, you see local Ada would know this he's a dwarf. Why would it not give me information about who owns the armory in town? But there's a dwarven man, very extremely stereotypical, like blacksmith dwarf, forging all sorts of like armor and weapons and decent quality, nothing particularly ornate or fancy. You
Perfect.
are able to find a scimitar for 50 gold, or equivalent in gems or goods.
I'll just kind of turns to everybody and goes, "Can I get it?"
Sure.
Ooh, is there like a pretty matching set of scimitars as an option? Like really cool ones to match the my Grim Buddy's really cool vibe. I need aesthetic scimitars. Are they there? Are there aesthetic scimitars? They don't have to be like +1 or anything.
No, nothing particularly aesthetic.
Oh.
You do see that the stall next door is selling potions of healing for 40 gold each.
Oh. Anyway, I totally think that Cole should get the scimitar. The only thing that would stop me from having Cole buy that scimitar is if there was a prettier scimitar over there.
There's
not, unfortunately.
Don't think there's.
Are they at least like wrapped in like really nice dark black leather handles and stuff like that?
It's really basic leather. It is undyed. It is functional. you specifically notice that it is built like in a series. Like it's all manufacturer quality.
The festival mood is getting to me. The high of winning a ship. I'm like, I need everything to be special now.
This isn't a fancy place.
We just want a ship.
Well, we could always get him something serviceable now, and then, later on we can upgrade him. Find somebody to make him a custom one at some point, Keep that in mind.
So I'm gonna walk over to Ada and just kind of like open the bag in front of Ada and be like, hey, which one of these gems is like not magical or magic useful?
I think
or anything.
There's a small diamond that's worth magical. 50.
Well, I'm just making sure, like, I'm not going to give away a gem that helps you do what you do. That's really what it is. It's like, yeah, which one?
Yeah. Let's do a ruby and some gold.
Well, okay. So I'm going to get out the ruby with a flourish, and with my back turned to the dwarf, this might not work, but I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna use minor illusion to make it just look extra fancy. And then I'm just gonna slide the ruby over very confidently and just be like, here you are. Just like that. And I'm just gonna see if the dwarf notices this is technically not 50. But I'm just gonna be like a lot of flourish and confidence, like, maybe our reputation about how we just, like, won a ship, it came back from a dangerous mission and fought off a weird, mysterious clan. Gonna
roll a deception check.
Okay. Alright. 20! 30-20.
Yeah, he accepts it.
Nice.
And then so I'm just gonna take it and then present it to Cole. Like, here you go. I don't know why I enjoyed that so much. I think I'm still slightly drunk.
For sure.
It's like drunk and high at the same time.
Yeah, Cole doesn't very often, like, smile, but he, like, gets it, and he's, like, rubbing his, like, thumbs on, like, the metal part, and there's, like, a little twitch to his lips, and you're just like, wow, this is He is
He
so
is
excited.
really excited.
Yep. Groundbreaking.
Like tiny little lip twitch, and it's like, oh my gosh, never seen such excitement from you.
See, now that is also fan art worthy. So I'm just saying, him being
True.
presented with this sword and getting the little.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oh sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna point out that the stall next door is selling some healing potions.
As was I. I was going to see how much we had. So, see how many we could buy.
Might be a bit wise to at least get a few.
Certainly would be. I have a healer's kit, but no potions.
What happened to the one that we had that had the bite marks on it? Like, is it, do we ever use that one? In that rat-infested place.
Nope, I think you still have that.
Alright, we got one in a kind of dirty glass bottle here.
What?
But yeah, we could, get more.
Yeah, where are funds at? I mean, I know she holds up like 4 gold pieces. This is the extent of my fortune right here.
So, yeah, so I basically have just been hiding this little bag because I don't have my cheek version of a squirrel pouch, but I have a squirrel version of a squirrel pouch. And I kind of have it like as a backpack because my tail covers the back of it.
I love
So
it.
you don't really notice most of
Incredible.
the time.
Automatic
But I just pretend I have this
anti-theft.
little. Yeah, I just have this little backpack that just gets hidden by the bushiness of my tail in the back. Which is kind of flickering back and forth now that I am drunk and high on energy here. Little flickering tail. So I just pull off my little squirrel pouch backpack here. And it's like, yeah, we're good. What do you want? Food, alcohol, more water, healing potions?
Healing potions, probably.
Well, if they're 40 each, I think we could
There's
talk them
no-
into
There's
3
2
for 100.
pearls we have, and each pearl is worth 100.
I
Trade
feel like
3
we
for
could
a
get
pearl,
to 3
maybe?
for 100. Make the pearl a little extra shiny,
There you go.
a little extra fancy.
Hap
Dude.
is just staring up at Odrune, being like, how do you drink a healing potion?
The same way I drink the
Oh
alcohol.
no.
But you didn't drink the alcohol. I
Well,
noticed
I
that
did.
before I passed out.
I did drink the alcohol. I just did not absorb it because it's not magical.
It's true, the healing
Alright,
potion's
so you're-
magical.
So you're trying to get how many healing potions? 3 for
Three.
the 100 gold pearl. Okay.
Mhm.
Roll a persuasion check. I assume you're doing a similar like performance to what you just did.
Who's
Yeah,
rolling? Who wants to roll the
we,
persuasion?
I can do that.
It has to be Hap.
I was gonna say it's
Does
Does
either me
anybody
or
want to
Hap.
help me?
I'll help. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
I'm like, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm
Yeah,
actually a
you can.
persuasive barbarian, so.
Yeah. Okay. 23.
You're rolling nice.
I'm doing good.
This
Yep, it
is the
works.
one thing I'm good at. I mean, I
Yep,
just took
it
a real
works
poorly,
again.
but
Huge discount.
One
You
thing
have
I'm
losing my ear.
3 regular potions of healing, which I believe is 2d4 plus 2.
Something.
alright.
Odrune,
Mhm.
you're good at talking to people. Could we go talk to the Banda wine merchant?
Sure.
I need help. I need to find some information, or see if they know.
Okay. Do you mind me asking what information, just so I can be subtle about it, maybe?
I need to know where King Senric's land is.
Okay. Do I know where King Senric's land is?
Roll a history check.
I might.
You might have heard the name at some point. You're Not 100% sure precisely where.
Okay. All right.
Somewhere on the eastern, maybe in the north.
I will tell you more
Sure.
because you're helping me.
Sure.
But don't not here.
Okay. That's just fine. Yeah. I wish I could be a bit more specific, but sure. Let's go. Let's go ask and see if they know.
That's all I know.
Yeah. Let's check it out.
Yep. Yeah, it's a younger woman. She has a long blonde braid going over her shoulder. And she's like, "Hello, would you like some wine? My name is Audrey. Very nice to meet you."
Ooh. Audrey's
Oh.
sexy.
I will switch into Vander. So nice to meet you as well. What is... Don't have all the gold in the world, but what would you recommend?
Ah, friendly face. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Yes, of course, we do have some common wine, though, of course, we have something a bit more refined that I'm sure you would recognize is a finer quality than the common mead of these raiders around here.
Of course. I do
And
fear
for
I have to
will
go for the
also say,
common.
I do also have for if you're looking for an especially good evening, I have a one bottle of Baindor Frost Vine, but I can only part with that for 30 gold.
Ooh, it is a bit dear for me, although it sounds wonderful. How much for your best but common bottle?
Odrin's over here just
10 gold for
nodding
that.
because I don't understand a word you're saying.
10 gold for finer quality, 5 silver for the simple wine that these folks seem to appreciate.
I'll do 2 of the simple, please.
Of course.
Pass her a gold.
Mm-hmm.
My friend and I were looking for a bit of information, and I switch back into common with that and kind of gesture to Odrun.
Yes, we were hearing a bit about. Crap, the player already forgot the name of the king, but.
Senric.
Senric, thank you. Yes, we were hearing a bit about this King Senric, and we were just kind of curious where he might be based. Do you know? Do you know much about him?
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay. If I can get around my cat's butt, sure. Um, he does it at the most inopportune times. 21.
21. Yes. He is. He has a castle that he has recently built, long ways to the north of here on the northern continent. One sec, I'm double checking the name of it. Yes, I believe it is called.
I can't. I
yes,
don't know the spelling of that. Can you tell me the spelling of that castle, please?
I believe he has built a fortress at Rockpike. It's a settlement far to the north. I can point it out here on your map, right about there. Rumors say that he was able to conquer the area with the help of a Valkyrie that he managed to capture.
I did hear rumors about a captured Valkyrie. How did that happen? Do you know? Is there any stories about how he got her?
I don't know. I only know that a handful of years back he started bragging about it. I think some people heard rumors of a woman training his troops, but he seems to be getting help because he rose to power very quickly.
Well, having a Valkyrie train your troop
expanded his
is
territory quickly.
having a Valkyrie train your troops is definitely one way to shortcut doing much else, isn't it?
Well, I don't know much for raider superstitions, but I'm sure he has a very powerful warrior working for him.
Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you so much. You've been very helpful. Was there anything else we needed to know about Senric?
Oh, I was just. Sounds like such an interesting character.
Doesn't he?
Does he come from a large noble family?
Oh yes, yes. He is from a line. Yes, I believe he's descended from a number of Baindor kings, though none of them seem to have expanded the territory as widely as he has. I mean, I'm from the Western settlements, so I'm not as familiar with his specific lineage, but I believe he inherited the title.
I see. Whereabouts are you from then?
I am from the western continents.
What brought you all the way here? This is quite a ways away.
Money, why else?
That is
Although
fair.
to sell around here, I do have to pay substantial tithes to the Lutans for protection.
Do you really? You have to pay a tithe even here in nowhere where there's no clan?
To traverse the waters between here and my homeland, yes.
Fair.
Hmm.
Fair. That is true. Huh.
How much? How much is that tithe?
It's about 20% of what I take.
Wow.
That's a bit
feel like
exorbitant.
Like I said, hefty.
Yes. You may have better luck with a crew of Varang. Tend to be a bit less uppity than the Lutens.
Hmm.
Bit kinder.
And if I told you you could get a better deal working for the Baindor, would you do that?
That's fair.
Different tastes, my friend. Perhaps in another life. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. You were very helpful, thank you. I
Yes.
have my 2 bottles of wine.
Thank you very much for the chat. I hope your sales continue to be high.
Wind in your sails as well. Is there anything else that y'all want to do?
Ooh. I want to walk around the festival a bit and see what's going on.
Yeah. There seems to be, unshockingly, a lot of drinking. Just out in the streets, not even contained to like the mead hall or anything. Plenty of competitions breaking out. There's like wrestling, war boasting. People are telling tall tales about their latest like raids or conquests or like beasts and monsters that they fended off. You see some performers. There's like a cluster of Grimm who are juggling, playing various instruments, some harps and lyres. But that's pretty much everything you see.
Is I'm gonna say this name wrong. Pluron Laron and his husband Garsh there? Pluron Laron? Yeah.
Sure. Sure, why not? Yeah, Paran Laron and Garsh are arm in arm, enjoying the festival. They seem to be just kind of dancing together to the music that the Grimm are playing.
Do we make eye contact at all?
Yeah, they notice you when you kind of like try to catch their eye. They're like, oh, hi.
Oh, I'm just gonna sign to them a bit. I'm gonna say hello as I approach, so they know I'm coming to them. And then, so what I'm trying to do is, I know we're not going to be taking that ship because circumstances have changed, obviously. But since they believed my like whole thing about like I'm really good at knowing good wood and maybe some good building, I want to like be like, as two knowledgeable people here, I want to know their opinion of the ship that we just got. And if it's really loud, I'll do this in sign. But if it's like a quieter area, so like I might just decide if I could like pull up to the side, like, yes, I don't know if any of you guys know Gersh sign language, but that's what's going to
Paul's-
happen here.
Hanging back, I think.
Yep, you must be the one who follows along.
Yeah,
So I'm
Paramount
basically
starts
asking
to-
about that.
Yeah, he starts to try to shout back and answer at you. It's like, oh, well, you got... Yeah, it's too loud here. And he also switches to signing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garsh seems to be the one, like, Piran's, like, looking over at him, like, if Garsh seems to be the one who remembers it. He says, oh yeah, the Raven ship, he mentions it's an explorer class longship, so just the right size for your needs, not too big, doesn't need a massive crew. He does mention it's the standard terminology he uses is below average quality, which doesn't mean it's like less seaworthy. It just means it has more limited capacity for upgrades.
Okay. But yeah, so the tone I'm going for here is like, oh yeah, no, we were seriously considering buying that ship. Like, it was a legit option for us as very successful raiders and such and such. But of course, now that the situation has changed. But I kind of want to try to feel out if the ship they're building is of equal quality or higher quality than the one that we just got. Just out of curiosity.
Give me 1 second.
I'm just kind of curious.
Yes, it would be higher quality. The ships they build are average, so instead of handling just 1 upgrade, it can handle up to 3 upgrades.
The one they're currently building?
Mm-hmm.
So the one they're currently building is better than the one we just got? Okay.
Not shocking,
In
considering
comparison-
it was captured.
In comparison, how much is ours worth?
Oh gosh.
So I'm framing this as like, oh, this is probably going to suit our needs now, especially as we're, I don't know if I want to use training, but I guess feeling out a new crew and such before we make a bigger investment. But in the future, once we are more established with our new crew that we're putting together, we might be interested in, switching up. And so I'm just kind of curious about the price difference that we're going to have to meet for that.
Yeah.
If we do a trade-in. I feel like I'm on a car, like, used car a lot right now.
Trade up. Yeah.
I want to trade in my car, please. This ship over here.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
he
basically doing right now.
He looks like he's doing some mental calculations, like kind of running numbers in his head. And he says he would be able to offer it at half price. So full price is $6,500. Half price is $3,250. So would still be pretty expensive as far as like stuff you're able to buy, but yeah, just because of the difference in quality.
Okay. Good to know. Good to keep in mind after we work with our crew on the lesser quality ship. Who's in charge of making their figureheads?
Garsh raises a hand.
How difficult would it be to change like a raven to an owl? Or something like that.
Aren't figureheads actually one of the ship upgrades that we have to have a certain
I
ship
don't
quality
know.
for?
Not basic figureheads.
Oh, not basic
No,
ones.
basic
Okay.
figureheads, yeah.
I couldn't
I have
remember.
no
for sure.
I really
idea.
thought you'd say squirrel.
I'm gonna be a lot better when it comes to the map, but when it comes to the
Yeah, no,
ship,
you're good.
I am just going for it.
Oh no, sorry, I was
Because I'm
asking
like-
KJ. I was like, wait a second,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's part of the upgrades.
Oh, well.
Basic figureheads are not considered taking up an upgrade slot. So you could get a basic figurehead. He says 50 gold.
Oh, so we can change the raven to an owl or another bird, I guess, would probably be best. For about 50 gold.
He could replace it entirely as long as it's just a basic design, like a simple animal or, any kind of simple pattern or structure.
Okay, I'm saying this as I'm just kind of like playing with the little feather that I have braided into my tail. Just being like, as long as it's not the weasel, maybe we can change it. Just saying. Okay, but then
he says,
chit chat stuff.
he
later.
says, are you the captain? Talk it over with your captain and let us know what you choose.
Well, you know, I might not have the title, but don't doubt my influence. I am very important when it comes to these decisions that we're making here. I'm a very trusted member of the crew.
Well,
This is
considering
all
you
in
have a
fine,
purse,
isn't
you
it?
are.
Oh yeah,
It's all being signed,
This is all inside. But then I'll finish off with some chit chat, leave on a very good note, compliment their work or something. I want to keep the positive vibes going. I feel like it's always good to never piss off the shipbuilder. Especially if I'm going to come back with them being like, I would like a new animal on my ship, please. That doesn't look
Well-
weird.
While this conversation was happening, I think Ada looks at Adrian and goes, "Do you think we're gonna end up with a squirrel on our ship?"
You thinking
You
like a
would be so lucky.
self-portrait? Would she actually put a self-portrait on the front of our ship?
I do think she would.
You know what I think would be really fun if she ever did do that? Is we sneak in there under her commission, we change it slightly, and we make it story instead.
I think she might kill us.
I think she might if she found out who it was.
That's true.
She'd have to figure it out first. And who knows, she might just be so freaking pissed she might not be able to think about it.
It's true too.
What's Northra doing right this moment?
Getting this world's equivalent of ice cream.
I mean, it is a festival.
There actually is. There's
Yeah.
yogurt.
Valid.
They have yogurt. There's a whole thing that they have, and it's basically yogurt. It's not the fanciest thing, but it's like simple, nice, easy breakfast kind of food. And they do
I'm gonna
have
go
some.
binge eat it as if I'm in a
Yeah.
depression.
I mean, considering this world's been in winter for like 3 years, they'd better have frickin' ice cream. They've got an outdoor freezer.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, it even has like little bits of honey drizzled in it, very sweet
Nice.
and delicious. So you are able to get some comfort. Is there anything else you all do before settling down and taking a long rest?
Not while I'm intoxicated. There's only so much I can do about that. The rest of the time, I think I'm just going to enjoy the festival, but I'm going to keep an ear open for any rumors about the War Clan. Other than that, I might steal a bite of Northra's yogurt and then run away.
Hey,
Yeah.
Norther tries to
goodbye.
stab your hand.
I'm very small. You gotta catch me. Can't catch me.
You get
You
yelled
don't-
at, that's about it. Just, no, hey, mine. It was mine. No.
But yeah, that's about it. Enjoy the atmosphere. Wait until I'm not intoxicated anymore. Listen for War Clan rumors.
Roll a perception check. Just half. And actually, Northra too.
Yep.
Northra, you can also make this perception check.
That was a 5. I am very distracted at the moment.
Seven.
Ignore the advantage.
I don't know what my modifier is, so
You said 7?
I got 11.
Oh,
11. Okay, that's better actually. Yeah, Hap, you don't hear anything. You're drunk, and it's loud. Your ears
Yeah.
are sensitive. Like it's more like there's too much noise going on. Northra, you do hear a couple people mention the War Clan wolves, worshippers of hell, pretty much along the same lines that you've been hearing. Yeah, that's pretty much yeah, nothing really new in terms of information. And go ahead and ask what you wanted to ask me, Devil.
I texted you because I don't know if it was good for the live stream.
It's fine.
Find a man for the night.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's a 7.
7. You see a few guys that are mostly just drunk, but none of them seem to really be your type. So it's a little bit disappointing.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, yeah, you find a guy who what's Northra's like mistake guy that she finds for the night?
God. To be honest, I'm gonna say he's probably not even having a job. He's just a drunk from the street. Just doesn't even have a house. So, I gave him a home for the night.
Yeah, it ends up being one of the guys from the tent city outside. And he's like half slurring through everything. So, and that's the company you spend your evening with.
Druin would
All
probably
right.
look over at Ada, since it sounds like we're chilling. How you feeling? You seemed both exhausted and a little put out earlier.
Uh-huh. There are layers to the story.
Sure.
But I don't want to bore you. So
I'm a tree. It's a bit difficult to bar me.
Well, actually, it's a bit easy.
If you're a woodpecker.
Wow. Well, let's just start from the most recent. King Senric, I learned earlier today, is, I think, my uncle. I was born into a Bender noble family. When I was very young, the Luton attacked, killed my parents, killed my siblings, and I don't know if you heard when we first went on the ship. I can never remember their name, but the one Luton crew member asked if I was Ada Sivlock. Siv was my mother, my adoptive mother, but she was there. She told them to take me as a thrall because I was so young. So I was a thrall for a bit, and then she and her wife adopted me, and they were wonderful. A few years ago, they were killed in a fire,
So sorry.
and I've thought that it was my fault for a very long time. And I think that it is my fault, but for a different reason now. So it sounds like King Senric paid Civ's rival. She could have been the next leader of the clan. She was strong and charismatic. Hilda, my other mom, she was a storyteller. She knew everyone and everything about everyone. So the two of them were a intimidating combination, and Gunnar was their rival, and he was paid off by Senric to kill them because I guess Senric thought that Civ was the leader of the raid, and as far as I know, she wasn't. She was just there. I think Gunnar may have been the leader. I don't know, but I didn't I don't remember where my birth family's from, so he's the only lead I have. Um,
Wow. Well, why?
sorry, that's
Why?
a lot.
No, I'm just curious why you would think any of that is your fault. It sounds like you were too young to really even start something like that. You were just there.
Again, I don't know if you heard on the ship, but the lieutenant said that there was rumor that I was tough,
Hmm.
and I am,
Oh,
and I thought that was why. Because Gunnar is just a fucking zealot who says that everything he wants to do is Luta's divine will, and really he's just saying whatever the fuck he wants. And hates any mention of Locaneer, so he, of course, I don't know if he believes it, but he acts like he believes that us are a Jotun cursed plague upon the world. And I'm assuming we're like in our room, and I show Odrun my tusk form, and you see that my skin turns to like a faded gray purple, and the scar that's along the side of my eye gets even more vibrant. My eyes turn purple. They almost have a glow to them. My jaw distends a bit, and I have like two tusks, kind of orc-like, and long tiefling-like horns.
wow. Believe it or not, that's absolutely beautiful. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're most
That's why
welcome.
I care about the people here.
It makes a lot of sense.
They're
You were you were there, but you weren't part of it necessarily, and I can kind of relate to that. I lived among the Orn for a very long time, but definitely wasn't one of them. That's for sure. But well, thank you
I
for
think I
sharing that.
tricked myself
What do you mean?
into thinking I was. I think I thought I was one of them
One of the
for a
Luton?
minute. Yeah,
Hmm.
I thought I'd have a whole life there. And it just burnt to the ground.
I don't even think that was a trick that you did to yourself. Sounds like it was a bit more of a trick of the universe. I mean, I have raged against fate for a long time for reasons like that, where people want to have one type of life and they don't want to hurt anyone, they just want to live a life that's brought them joy. And then something happens and the universe rips them away and makes them think it's their fault. It's not. I know it feels
See
like it
Ada's
was,
just
but
crying.
yeah. I know it feels like it was, but this was, it sounds to me like this was just the result of greedy people and some people just wanting revenge and taking it out however they could. It it doesn't sound like any of this was your fault.
Is it horrible if I want revenge too?
No, I don't think it is. I think the important thing to remember with revenge is to find the real person responsible. Because it's not always who you thought it was. Like you said, your adopted mom's, it probably wasn't their fault. You don't think that she was the raid leader. And who knows if revenge was really his motive, but if it was, it sounds like not only did he miss the mark, but he paid the very person he should have killed in the first place.
Sounds like an incompetent shit.
Quite frankly, yes. I think we should unseat your uncle and put you on his throne.
Oh,
Queen Ada. I'd be in support of you.
oh, thank you, Drew.
Of course. Of course. Well, I'll do whatever I can if I hear anything of the Bander. I'll keep my ears out.
I feel like a
You have your quiet conversation just trickles and fades into the night. Northra is spending time away, like trying to block out her sorrows. What does it look like as Cull and Hap settle in for bed for the night? Just a little cozy moment here.
Yeah, my very first thought, considering the last thing Hap did was steal quote unquote ice cream, was did I win a carnival game and get a plushie that I can then pass out and curl up with? That was
Sure.
my first image of just kind of the feeling of the end of the night. Because I won a drinking game, I got a ship, my buddies got a scimitar, I managed to be amazingly negotiative. That is not a word, but I'm still drunk. And so maybe I won a carnival prize, and if I did, it is just as I curl up in the bed, all satisfied with the day, with my tail fluffed over my face. That's what it looks
so
like. It is.
cute.
I don't get a cozy moment today. I used up all my. I just went out until all of my energy was used up, which might mean I might have been out till like very late.
Nah. I'd say Cole
I don't know what
is
time.
Cole's definitely. I mean, he's got his new scimitar. He's a little bit excited. He's definitely sharpening it just a little, but as Hap's kind of laying down for the night, he's kind of just fiddling with it and like keeps his gaze to the ground. But he's like, "What did you like about the festival? Do you have a favorite part?"
I am just kind of like rolling around here, just getting comfortable, get my spot on the bed. And my favorite part of the festival was I don't know, I need more of that yogurt, or maybe it was those performers. I mean, I bet I tried hard enough. Ooh, or maybe it was I'm dozing off as I say this a little bit, but then I come back to myself and I'm just kind of look at Cole and it's like, we gotta keep winning. I want more days like this.
Cole
I just want to
nods.
keep, I just want to keep winning.
He kind of smiles to
I
himself, and he just goes, "We will."
don't want to lose. I never want to lose. I just want to keep going like this.
Me
As
too.
I'm saying this, as I'm kind of
Settling.
like drifting off. Yeah.
And you all settle in for the night, and in various moods and states, you all get your long rest. So, okay, we're gonna take a break. Good gravy. I'm sometimes you just gotta like sit back and let them cook. Just okay. Yeah, we're gonna take a 7 or 8 minute break. We'll be back in 7 or 8
Yay!
minutes. I'm gonna just go drink so much water. See you in a few. Welcome back. Let's continue with Ink of Fate. I am breathing a little bit more normally now. Let's get into this. All right, you all wake up to a city-wide hangover. It's very mellow the following morning. Not a lot of activity. You do end up downstairs at Eye of the Storm, able to get a decent kind of breakfast together. Hrolf is there along with Siobhan in her. She's actually not in her chair at this moment. She's sitting on one of the benches by the tables. Her chair seems to be in its cat form in front of her, and she's holding up a piece of string and having it chase it around.
Amazing.
How is this? I think you just broke me with a damn chair.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Yeah, it's very much exactly like what Jay is like giving us here with the kitty. Siobhan looks at you all as you each like trickle down in the morning, and she's like, "Oh, good morning, y'all. Cotter's up to a lot of mischief this morning."
Cotter? To name your
Cotter.
chair? Or your...
Odd.
Okay.
Of course, Cotter's got feelings, don't you, boy? And she's just giving
I'm
him lots
coming
of
down with
pets.
that guy from last night, by the way.
Yeah, he looks even worse in the morning.
No.
And he like almost doesn't say anything to you. He just kind of staggers his way out the door.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, his shirt's is like half untucked and just an absolute mess. Hrolf is like, yeah. Hrolf is looking at you all. He's sipping at his drink for the morning. And he's like, "So, what's on our agenda today?"
Oh, Hap was very distracted trying to figure out how this cat has like a sex. I'm really trying to figure out this cat's anatomy. Like, okay,
You know, there's
this is
some
weird.
questions that you don't ask the DM.
Just saying.
I mean,
I
you could
am a
always
beast
ask
born.
the Wicker. The Wicker might be able to...
That seems
You
like
know.
a personal question.
Not every tree is the same. To me, you are all very unique individuals.
This is very true,
Okay.
Hap. I do appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
So I
Can
heard
you
got a
transform
ship.
into a chair?
No,
Oh,
I
right.
at least not right now. Perhaps sometime in the future I could become a chair for you, Hap.
Every time
Oh, yes,
you come
Rolf. How are you doing? I'm not forgetting Rolf is our captain, apparently.
leader of 1,000 raids.
Yes. Or was it
Yes,
100,000?
no, Haha. Anyway, we have a ship to take a look at this morning, right?
Indeed we do.
Speaking of which, Rolf,
Mm.
what is your favorite animal? This is a very serious conversation.
Oh, good gravy. He takes it very seriously. He's like looking at you and looking off into the air. It's like, well, I suppose. Oh goodness, there's a number of beasts I've fought, and a number of things that I like, and of course the cat here is absolutely stinking cute.
Remember
And Connor
how
seems
much
to be like rolling
comfort
over.
Story brought Hrolf on our journey
I'm
here?
gonna cut it off immediately. Nope. Be like, Rolf, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? Something.
Oh no, well, but see, here's the thing. My favorite is actually the owl, because it is the symbol of Alden. You know, in the Hallhorn clan, you know, she's kind of our patron, so.
Rolf,
gotta give
that's a
the
bit basic.
Homage to her.
That's
It's
a
a very
bit
simple
basic
answer.
answer, Rolf. Couldn't you come up with something
Okay,
a little
and
more
bit like the
albino
grand
scops
line.
owl, like
Oh.
one of the little tiny ones, but an albino one. That one's like specifically that one.
Oh, that's quite cute. Okay.
Okay, now that's a
Oh.
bit better. That's a bit better. We could, you know, a
There you
tiny,
go.
tiny little owl. Yes, a little. you know, I can't think of the word at the moment. Figurehead, there's the word. Tiny owl
I
sitting
really
up there
thought,
as a figurehead.
thought O'Drew would appreciate the feathered folk a little more.
No, I love the owls. I'm just teasing him because it's a bit basic, because it's like he wants to suck up to his mom, you know, choosing Alden's owl as his favorite.
What's your favorite?
My favorite. And then Odrun calls out her little canary. Right here. Bright yellow canary. Shoves it in your face.
I still haven't gotten a canary sound effect. I need to remember to do that. I have like every other bird. I have crows. I don't have regular bird tweeting songbird noises.
I'm just staring at this canary being like, you don't come out very often. Where do you hide?
It's because I have this
Staring.
little
The bird
hollow
gives-
place back here at the back of my spine, and it just goes right into my head. I'm totally lying. I'm
Like a
totally
birdhouse.
lying. But I'm trying to
Are
convince
you
Hap.
a birdhouse?
Cole completely
I mean,
believes you.
I'm just gonna look and be like,
Can I roll insight?
Yeah,
can I roll insight?
Oh,
yeah,
Cole
Odrun-
completely
Odrun
believes
rolled
this.
Deception.
Can I just say Cole
Oh, wait,
completely
Wait,
believes this?
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yes. Yeah, you are always allowed to choose to fail. That is always an option.
No, I'm using
wanna
my
see what I roll.
inspiration. Oh no!
You are laughing as you say it. With a nat 1, it's not even a little bit convincing.
Oh my
But-
god.
But Cole believes.
Cole believes.
Hap looks actually disappointed that it's not true. I mean, if you were like a
Also-
home for a bird, like squirrels are known to like take over those, and so it's kind of sad that you're not. That's
He's-
not the best tree.
You
I'm
know,
trying to be a parasite.
He's
That's
like
not how
actively
this works.
squinting at Odrew and being like, how does that work?
Cole, there isn't one. Take a look, and you see a perfectly fine neck. I was trying to fool Hap. I'm not very good at lying.
I believed you.
You know what? That's because you and I have a bond of trust from before. So I am very sorry I abused that bond of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hap is just gonna look over at Cole and it's like, I always got your back, don't worry. I won't let them fool you for the serious stuff. Besides, the lie was better than the truth anyway.
The lie
Well,
was pretty
I
good in
must
this
say-
case.
I must say, I am very much looking forward to seeing the ship you acquired. Are we ready to go check it out?
Wait, are you
What
sure
is
you don't
that?
want to see the bird in my head too?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I do not want to know more about how all that works.
Somehow I just made Odrun a bird brain. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
sound
gonna
horn
do it.
effect, the badooch. That
That's
was
Uh-huh.
state of the art.
beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Anything else you do before going to the docks?
I would
You
ask
might
Carl
have
what his
more.
favorite animal is while we're walking.
Oh yeah, let's
I'm
just ask
curious.
everyone's favorite animal while we're walking.
Northra, what was that?
I hit my head on the bar.
Oh,
Oh no. Healer's
Yeah,
kit, do
boy,
we need
up
it?
left.
I have one.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I need. Oh, well, I need to do good berries today. We'll see what the crew looks like before I start doing good berries. But healer kit, I want to pull out of the bag and be like, "Does this help?" I have no ability with this. Healer kit.
Northa, do you want to hold Story? She's quite nice. Unless you're Hap.
She'd be nicer if she grew a proper tail. Say.
Hap, if she really did grow a tail, would you have more respect for her? I say
Yes.
as we're walking, by the way. I kind
I
of
have
have
no
this image that we're
hesitation.
walking. She
No hesitation. Yes.
really, even if that made her a mutant amongst her own species, somehow you would have more respect for her.
You know, sometimes mutant species might work out to your favor. I'm gonna pretend I know anything about how things develop, and it's like, things just change over time, sometimes for the better.
Well, that's fair. I'm definitely a bit of evidence of that, so I can see that.
Butterfly.
Sometimes you start out as a squirrel and then you grow up and start talking and walking on two legs.
Sometimes you change for the better. Am I a monster to you?
Absolutely not. I never said anything about a monster.
Mutant monster.
So it doesn't take you long to get to the dogs.
Wait, what was Cole's favorite animal?
Oh yeah, what's Cole's favorite
Find out.
animal?
We didn't find out Cole's favorite animal.
And Northra's. And Ada's.
I need a record scratch noise.
You do need a record scratch.
Priorities.
We do need that.
I'd say he pauses for a moment and he's like, I like dogs.
Those wee things? Okay.
He just kind of
I
shrugs to
also like
himself.
dogs. Especially the really small, fluffy ones.
He's nodding,
As I
like he absolutely
Throw
understands.
something for my dog.
You know, the Jarl of the Orn had a little Pomeranian that he used to carry around with him. Called it Princess.
Incredible. I love that. Hey, you have your loudest toy. Okay. My dog just brought in his loudest, squeakiest toy.
I hear it.
He's so proud of himself.
Oh my god, for a split second, I thought KJ had actually found a canary sound.
No, that would be perfect.
We'll say that's what it is.
We should
you
record
noticed that
it.
the canary is extra loud today, and despite being weirdly quiet earlier, now it's loud.
It's very excited. We're gonna go see the new ship. All right, Northra.
Speaking of which-
Favorite animals. Wait. Give us a
Yep,
few more
yep,
feet. We
go
gotta
ahead.
ask Northra's favorite animal.
Wait, look at everyone. Look right to happen like squirrel.
Well, I'm glad someone has sense. Obviously.
Wait, but
Because
wait,
they're very
lacking.
good friends back to me.
but Hap, now we haven't actually asked you if you have a favorite animal.
I have a favorite animal.
Indeed, you've been
I have
asking
my
all of
own.
us.
I have my own favorite animal.
Okay.
So I guess if I had to pick something other than me, my favorite animal. Humans are funny. I think humans are a pretty interesting animal. Maybe the Dragonborn. They're an interesting lot. But I'll stick with the humans. Humans are an interesting animal.
All right.
Siobhan goes, hell yeah!
See?
See, I think
Yeah.
we should just get a portrait of Siobhan, on her really epic chair as our figurehead. What do you think?
Or cat.
Or, well, we could have her and the cat next to her,
That's
kind of
true.
in an epic pose.
Is that considered
Are we
business?
having a two-headed ship?
No, they're just gonna be right next to each other, like part of each other. Anyway, we're here at the ship. What do we see at the ship?
You
Ooh,
see.
Hap climbs onto the ship immediately. Literally climbing onto the ship.
Yeah, you're easily able to get right on board. You see this lovely long ship with a raven figurehead, hence the raven ship.
I'm
though
sorry.
You could possibly rename it if you change the figurehead. What?
I just have a like a character sheet pop up for it. I didn't have a picture. Did anybody else get a picture, or is my thing just stupid?
No, I didn't get a picture.
Okay.
I mean, the map
it-
changed.
Oh, the map
Yeah,
changed?
Oh. Yeah, I moved you to a different part of the map.
Got it.
But yeah, you can X out of the character sheet thing. That's just the stats to make sure everybody has access to it.
Got it. I've got it.
It is it is below average quality. It is able to ram other ships technically, but it has its own armor class, its own hit points, its own rules for repairing it. It also has a bonus to all attack rolls on the ship because Hrolf counts as a tactician. So he gives a nice little attack bonus when you are on the ship. Hrolf just kind of you do notice it becoming more pronounced, especially after the long hike that you took to get into nowhere, that Hrolf does seem to be moving kind of slowly. That he has a bit of a limp, and he looks like he would definitely struggle in combat. Looks like the injury he sustained at the Tower of Kekel seems to be like permanent. So he just kind of takes his seat as soon as he can. You have one large sail. Hold on, do I have like random character sheets opening up? I'm sorry if that's showing up for anybody else, but
No, I didn't get a character sheet this time.
okay, cool.
No character sheet roulette.
Yeah. Siobhan, Cotter kind of like takes her like up and down over the benches and gets her a spot to sit. And then Cotter kind of like detaches, morphs back into a cat, and just kind of perches on the bench next to her. Yeah, so you have one big long mast. You see rows and rows of oars sticking out of the side. And one large oar sitting at the back because Viking ships were not made with rudders. They were made where one person sits at the back with this giant oar called the steering oar, and that's how you steer. It's one person just has a giant oar, which is great. I love finding out that like Viking ships predate rudders and helms and things like that. You don't have a helm, nobody's at the helm. It's just steering oar Joe at the back. Like
It reminds me of like the rowing teams you see for like the competitive rowing. How they have the one person at the front who's keeping time and the one person at the back who's steering them.
Yes, it is very much like that. Curtis, one of your crew members, is also already there. He's the one from the
Beard.
what did I say? The
Oh, he's
Naddle
Beard
clan.
Man.
Yes. Yeah. Are you able to see the name labels? I tried to make those visible for everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been spelling that name wrong the whole time.
That is okay.
Gosh, I've been zoomed in on a totally wrong part of the map.
That's
I'm
okay
good
too.
now.
Yeah. Okay, so the names are visible?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Yeah, also I wasn't able to find a great red tiefling picture for Eagle that didn't look too, I wanted to make sure it didn't look too much like Northra, so the one that's more purpley, we'll say that that's kind of more how she looks. So Eagle does appear. She seems to be holding a roll of parchment in her hands, but she seems to be waiting, like, for you all to like kind of get your bearings as you get a look over the ship. Now, Hrolf does say, "Well, I think before we get a new crew, we might want to establish who the captain is around here."
Oh, yeah, Hap had already run off to ask Curtis if they found anything that got left behind. I had already, like, run off. Did they leave anything behind? Did you find anything? Is anything here that we can take?
Not much left besides the basic equipment. A few bedrolls, some rations. Nothing particularly nice, but rations will last us a good while.
Hap just looks disappointed. Maybe I come back in time to hear about captain stuff, but I'm just like, I was hoping they were too drunk to take any of the good stuff off in time. I knew I should have come here last night. Oh well.
Cool.
Oh yeah, Rolf, you were talking?
I
What does
think
Ada
we should
say?
leave it up to a vote. Anyone who wants to be captain can step forward, give reasoning, and people can vote on who they think should be captain. How's that sound?
Rolf, are you
Or-
saying you don't want to be our captain anymore?
Well, I may still be the leader of the mission of getting Siobhan to the Volve, but this certainly is not my ship. This is, I took no part in acquiring it. I invested no effort in earning it. I certainly did not earn it myself. Therefore, the right to captainhood should go to somebody who contributed towards acquiring it. I'll be happy to act as first mate in an advisory capacity, of course, and anytime you're on shore leave, I can make sure things stay running. But, no, it would not feel right being the captain of this particular boat.
Know how to actually run a boat. I say this as I shove Cole forward. It's like, you know how to run a boat.
I was gonna
You do it.
say, I think
I was gonna ask.
I
Little
seem
bit.
to
Anyone
remember
has any
that.
experience?
Seem to remember Cole knowing how to run a boat.
You know how to work a boat.
Cole kind of nods, and he seems embarrassed, like a little flush on his cheeks, and he's like, I would say, quite competent in running a ship.
Yeah, how
Alright.
to creep up yeah, competent. You heard it.
What am I
Well,
for
don't
saying?
sell yourself short.
What'd you say, Norther?
I've seen ships for a very long time. I'm sure I can give it a shot.
Very well. All those in favor, I believe this is between Cull and Northra, yes? All those in favor of Northra, Hurtis raises his hand. Northra raises her hand. Siobhan specifically looks at you and does not raise her hand. And those in favor of Cull?
Hap is just holding up both hands at this point.
Half that doesn't count for two.
His eyes are on the ground. He's like,
It's fine. You got this. You got it. It's fine. It's all good.
Well, great. All right, sounds like you're the captain. Would you please accept me as your first mate, Captain?
yes.
Man of many words.
Fantastic. Eagle kind of comes forward. She's like, all right, Captain, are you ready for me to introduce the rest of the crew?
Yes.
Okay. She brings a few people forward, ascending the gangplank, and they all kind of get onto the ship one by one. And Eagle's like, all right, introduce yourselves as you come on. And let me make sure they all just kind of fill into available spaces on the ship, because it is kind of hard to, get around everybody. You see a large human man approach first. Has light blonde hair, kind of ashy blonde. And he's like, Brick is excited to be here.
Brick?
My name is Brick. Hello. I am Brick. And then he just kind of walks further onto the ship.
Like him.
Does
Why
Brick
does
have
Husband,
everyone
definitely
get
my favorite.
bolder
Brick?
from the last Avatar?
Does Brick have any
Oh my God,
specialties?
yes.
Humans are my
Brick
favorite
is
animal.
happy to help with whatever help is needed.
Fair.
When I hear this, the first thing I think of is just the boulder is conflicted, fighting a young girl.
Mhm.
The boulder is no longer conflicted.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who's to say that the boulder did not influence Brick?
I love him already.
I do too.
Alright, my Roll20 is being a little bit slow, so it might take me a while to make the tokens actually show up. But the next
Yeah.
people you see are a pair of twins who seem to be Grimm. They're both women. They have their hair in very high ponytails and very precise, elaborate makeup on their faces. one of them looks at you all very excitedly and she goes, "Hi everybody, my name is Tiff." And the other one goes, "And my name is Taff. We're so excited to join your crew." Yeah, we're like really super excited.
None of these people could die so far.
No! They can't die!
Maybe enough.
They can't die! I'm in love with them already!
Next you see hopping up the gangplank, just the top of two tiny white ears, and then a 2.5 foot tall, all covered in the fluffiest white fur you've ever seen, is a cottontail rabbit beastborn.
Yes!
Amazing.
And he goes, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. My name is Pom Pom, and I don't have a lot of experience with boats, but I really want to try really hard. I'm a really hard worker, and it's nice to meet you all. You all seem so nice."
Odrun is
Okay.
just itching to reach their hands out and touch the fur, but they're not going to because that's
You see the
disrespectful.
fluffiest, yeah.
Ugh!
He gets further onto the boat, and you see the fluffiest little cottontail just sticking out of the back of his pants.
If Odrun
Uh-huh.
struggled with not touching Hap, they're gonna have the worst time with Pom Pom.
Yeah, he's like even shorter and cuter than Hap, so Hap, like, you get a little bit of like, uh-oh.
You got competition.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can now show off how all my 8 years makes me more mature looking. You just didn't see it because you didn't have the comparison. I gotta figure out how old this rabbit is.
I
though.
already like your body better.
Pronouns for Pom Pom?
He, him.
Okay.
Yep. And the last person you see is half orc with shaggy curly hair and a saber tooth tattoo on his back, and he goes, "Hey, my name's Aaron. Oh hey,
Hi, Aaron.
hey, hi."
There we go.
Hey.
We got there.
Oh, someone else.
I'm here to apply for the crew position.
You're in.
I think you're here because you've already been accepted. But that's alright.
Oh cool. Oh cool. Thanks.
Welcome
you can
aboard.
start by cleaning the ship.
Aye.
Actually, listen to me.
All right, that seems to be everybody.
Indeed.
Okay.
Aaron, twins, the rabbit,
Brick.
the human, Rolf,
Just break.
Curtis, Siobhan,
Eagle.
Cole,
Eagle.
Eagle's my favorite.
We need 10 crew members. So
Well, of course
No,
you
we
like
got
Eagle
it.
the
I
best.
think
She's a
it's
fellow tiefling.
Eagle.
Like me,
Don't you
Eagle,
have
we're gonna
some-
get a blow club. I don't know. Just thoughts.
What were you
asking,
saying?
Ada?
Oh, Northwood first.
I was just saying, I'm pretty sure me and Eagle are gonna get close eventually.
Oh, cool.
Probably.
And then I was
Right.
going to ask Eagle if anyone has particular skill sets.
Oh, well, yes. So I believe those two gentlemen, Aaron and Brick, they seem especially adept at raiding crew. Anytime you need to do any kind of raid, they're also able to handle a lot of the heavy lifting. I believe you already have a tactician with Mr. Rolf there. Herdis seems to be very involved with rowing and coordinating rowers. Tiff and Taff are very comfortable around the sails rigging. They are able to do some basic repairs there. Pom Pom, I frankly don't know what Pom Pom can do. I just couldn't actually say no to him. He just, I didn't want to. He looked like he was going to be so disappointed. I couldn't. I mean, you
He's
don't have to hire
disarming.
him if you don't want to. He looked at me, and I just couldn't say no to him.
That's fair. I
But I'm
wouldn't have been
sure
able
we
to
could find
either.
his skill set. I'm sure we could find his skill set eventually.
I think you're right. He at least
Oh,
has
what are you
the
good at?
he at least has the desire to grow, to learn. So, that's half of it.
I'm marching off to his pom pom, asking what he's good at.
Oh, well, let's see. I'm really good at eating lettuce and carrots. I was the fastest. I can devour like 10 carrots in 1 minute. As far as practical ship navigational or rowing type skills, my strength is not that great. I will attempt to support the rowing efforts and the sailing work and maybe learn how to tie some knots. But I might need a little bit of help with that because sometimes I can't quite reach the ropes.
Go talk to the winds. They can help you with tying knots. How's that sound? They
Oh,
seem to know
great,
a lot of-
thanks. Thanks so much.
Team morale it is.
Yep, pretty much
Yep.
it.
Do we have
Well,
all the crew we need at this point?
I think so. We have
The numbers are
positions-
right.
Yeah, we have positions available for ship specialist, but we just don't have those at the moment, aside from Rolf as our tactician.
Okay.
What are the other ships' positions?
Specialist. Builder, cook, healer, and scald.
What's a scald?
Hey, would I know how to
It's kinda like a bard.
time in the bush?
I'm not one. Maybe. We gotta figure out what a scald is.
It's kind of like a
Mhm.
bard.
Yeah, Scald is a bard.
I'm not a
Marco,
bard.
Sorry, I missed that.
Would I be able to know how to cook from my time in the bush? Even if it's only basic stuff.
You can cook basic stuff. A specialist cook would give you like different bonuses for travel. But yeah, your main thing is other things like combat.
I think I will act as a temporary cook until we can find a better one, since I kind of know a little bit.
Mhm.
If everybody else is okay with it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm good with that.
Cool.
Of course. People have to, you people, I should say, have to eat.
We're getting stew with some carrots and meat. There you go.
Perhaps leave a few uncooked for Pom Pom.
Oh yeah, here's a few carrots. Just give him full-on carrots to Pom Pom. There's your lunch.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Does the rule
Alright.
against no pets dying extend to Pom Pom?
Please.
Or no children.
I
being
mean, he does
harmed.
sound awfully young too, so I was gonna say the no children, no pets thing. I kind of feel like there's an intersection in Pom Pom.
A lovely gray area.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Sure does. All right. Is there anything else you all want to do in town before you set sail?
I don't want
what-
to leave without saying goodbye to Zealand.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be
yeah,
a whole
you're-
thing, but I just want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Do you tell her anything specific, or is it just like, say goodbyes? You're gonna be away for a while.
I just ask her to keep an ear out for any information about King Senric. Since we heard that rumor there originally. And I give her one of the 2 bottles of wine that I bought.
Not usually one for the fruity stuff, but certainly we'll have some with people who, if anybody passes through who will enjoy it, I'll be sure to use it to get some information out of them.
Thank you.
Safe travels, Ada.
Thank you.
Ooh. If we're using this day to like gather up anything, I still want to make suggestions for changing the figurehead.
Yes. All right, it is 50 gold to the shipbuilders. And they will do it with consent from the captain.
So, I think something similar to like, I just kind of like dropped a picture, like this design inspiration. I was like, oh, that'd be a cool cat thing. I can't really
Okay, so
feel
kind
weird
of a
putting.
cat design.
I was gonna propose it
Ooh.
as an option. It's like that's like my inspiration right there. The two facing wouldn't work, but I think those kind of like tendrils. I think it'd be really cool if we had kind of like a tendril effect.
I know our faces
Oops.
went wonky.
Sorry, I just realized I can't click
Oh,
out
yay.
of the chat.
Oh no.
Well, another
Well,
thing
we got a
learned.
little peek at it. That's fine. Yeah, I can always share the bigger picture in the roll20.
I mean, if nothing else, the like just taking one of the cats and putting it on the front, and like taking one on putting it on the back would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need both because we only currently have one cat, unless we think we can find another one.
Wait, are you saying
I don't
you
know what it
take her
turned
chair
into.
and put it on the thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, if we have two cats, it means we should find two cats.
Story could
It's
be
like
a cat.
foretelling. It's like that would improve story maybe. Better claws at least.
I don't know. From what I understand, Story has some pretty good claws.
Mm-hmm. Very sharp teeth.
Yeah, I know, but those claws aren't really helping when they try to climb a tree. Like, don't get me wrong, cats are assholes, but at least they can climb a tree a little bit better.
I can't climb a tree.
I know, it's really sad. I'm gonna try to help you.
I was gonna say, please don't tell Hap that. Somebody.
It was strength of 8.
She's gonna make you practice on me.
Yeah. I also have very low strength. It's really more about the technique. If you could just kind of shift your. Anyway, I'm gonna pretend that my Hap is like gone off a little bit on a tangent.
It is not athletically inclined.
Sure.
So, Hap, go ahead and deduct from the inventory however you want that 50 gold. For the.
You know what? Let me pull up the inventory. Have we determined like anything that we're gonna avoid touching because of any possible spell components?
The diamond is the only thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give the shipbuilder a choice of something shiny or straight gold.
They'll take the shiny.
Alright, so I might give them the other ruby in addition to like gold to make up for it. I will not try to do the discount. Once again, I'm not going to try to piss off a shipbuilder, especially if I want to come back. So I think I'll give them the remaining ruby and then the rest of the gold, and then some gold, which is going to come out of the silver just because it's easier.
Yeah, go ahead and deduct that from inventory however you want. Doesn't even have to be right this second. But they are able to, within just a handful of hours, it does help that there's already an existing figurehead, so they're able to kind of like, get rid of like the beak and the feathers and make it more like pointed ears and tail. And you have that inlaid pattern of a cat, and you are able to set sail.
So with the cat on the front of our ship, what are we naming it? It used to be called the Raven ship. Is it just the cat ship?
We can call it the sea lion.
That's not a lion, though.
A cat, lion. It's all fine.
Now, I do feel like I need to give you a little bit more dramatic oomph kind of music here. So we're gonna do something that's like properly Viking, like to really like get the blood pumping a little bit. Let's do I don't always remember how the track is gonna sound before I start playing it, so we're gonna try this one. You all take your seats at the rows, at the oars for rowing.
Cull's at the back of her.
What does Cull say to get everybody to start moving?
Row.
And you all row your way out in unison. The longship glides past the docks, heading north, and with each passing moment, you start gaining speed, accelerating faster and faster, the prow of the ship rising and falling into the waves. And in just a few short days, you will reach the sea, and you are landbound no more. Nowhere begins to fade into the back of your minds and into the background of the landscape, now firmly in your past, for now.
Are we flying the Volv flag?
Good question. That is, so the sails do not have any specific clan regalia on them. You are able to basically show transfer of ownership by putting the Volv flag there. Though as you kind of look at it, Hrolf kind of leans over. It's like, we might. If you're planning on using the ship after the Volv mission, you might want to get a new flag commissioned. Possibly by the Orn. Maybe might need to make a stop at Falagur. They're the finest craftsfolk you'll ever meet. You might want your own colors.
Plus, who
Am
knows?
I
I might be
allowed
able
to
to get a
mention-
discount.
That's true. Am I allowed to mention another IP, on screen?
Sure.
Does anyone know the cat flag from Our Flag Means Death?
Yes.
I don't. I'm gonna have to look it
Okay.
up.
I'll find the scene. I'll send it later. That's what I'm imagining our flag will look like.
The cat flag from our.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta
Cutesy
Google.
little one. Did it have a heart on it or something?
Yeah.
Was it just a cute little cat? Just...
Oh my god. What?
It's really cute.
I love that it's based on actual historical, dandy turned pirate, and he legitimately had a cute little heart shape on his official pirate Jolly Roger flag.
That's precious.
All right.
Yep.
The river rushes against the longship as you all row with great force, endurance, propelling the ship forward. Tiff and Tap seem especially in sync with this. They're exact mirrors of each other. Hrolf does mention to Cull, now we can't really unfurl our sails till we reach the Serpent Sea properly, but it's only a day and a half at most. It's gonna take half a week, 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Day or two before we reach those waters. Won't be long at all. And he just kind of looks off into the middle distance.
I'll just pats him on his shoulder and goes back to the oar.
There are many places where the river gets a little bit too narrow for sails, a little bit winding through, it's a fjord. That's kind of the terrain we're dealing with here. Now, are you going to try to barrel your way straight to the sea without sleeping on land, or are you going to take a few breaks? Because I will say, sleeping on this ship, you can technically do that. It just feels like an airplane to sleep on it, like you're sleeping in coach. Because the benches are also tiny and there's not really anywhere flat or level to sleep. So yeah, it's just kind of a trade-off, time versus comfort.
I think he'd rather ask the crew. He'd be perfectly fine with staying on the sea, but
Do we have that map? Hap wants to steal the map. I want to steal the map.
Yes.
I think technically you
Let
put
me
it in the collective loot, so I
Great.
kind of
I'm
want to see
gonna-
what.
Specifically, it's there because I can't edit my inventory right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm
So-
gonna try hanging on to it.
I want to look at
yeah,
the
I can move you to the.
I kind of want Eagle to look at the map and tell us what those marks were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to just call Eagle over when people want to look at the map, and so we can all check it out together.
Is this the map that we got?
It is. I'm gonna add a few more locations on it.
So, what Hap is trying to do is, with my skills with navigator tools, I just want to see that, like, on our current route, if I can tell, like, what might be the best place to, like, kind of turn off. You know, like, how far we can go, kind of, like, maybe plan, like, maybe stopping points, places we can anchor, stuff like that. Logistics for where we currently are. That's my goal.
Okay, so yeah, you're spending the next 3 days getting to the mouth of the river here, getting out to the sea. You've heard, this isn't on Eagle's map, but you have heard rumors that the war have some kind of outpost somewhere on this whole cluster of islands here. You're not sure precisely where, but it's probably where that druid Gully and his crew came from. You have Falagur up here, which is the main settlement for the Orn, well-known craftspeople. It's where Odrun is most recently from. So that's a place where you could go to commission new flag. Ada found out this location up here, Rock Pike, way up there, which is where King Senric is. And then the Well of Wisdom, which is the headquarters for the Volve, is way up here, close to the little strip of land there called the Stratum, which I can actually put that on your layers. The Stratum.
There was a mark on that map I got for the Warwick clan, correct?
Yes. I'm gonna have to look up, I'm gonna have to dig through the book a little bit for that, because, yeah, Eagle has those locations marked, but it's not telling me exactly where they are on the map. So let me get back to you on that next time, but she doesn't say anything right off about that. She's just pointing out Falagur and Rock Pike and those locations.
Well, I don't know about you, Cull, but it looks like we might even be able to start our commission for some new colors if we go by Falagur on our way to seeing the Volve.
I noticed that.
Plus, it's probably a good place to resupply.
I agree. Yes.
Now, what about the war that's supposed to be in the area? Do we want to try to find their outpost, or do we want to maybe avoid it?
Just has, like, an intense look, being like, you know, whatever happens, happens. But I think we could take him down again.
I mean,
This time we're burning their ships.
we were
Quite
successful, but
evasion.
we weren't up, you know. I'm not sure how I feel about an entire outpost. Seems
We
like
did
a lot.
just gain a whole new crew. I
And
wouldn't want to
shift.
put them at risk.
That's true.
Not good for morale.
I think Pom Pom could use a little while at sea before we actually try to take a whole outpost with the little fluffy man.
3 days, and we did establish how old Pom Pom actually is.
Do you ask him?
Yeah.
He just looks over at you, swinging his little legs on the benches. He's trying really hard, wrapping his arms around the oar, and just really like he's like having to like plop himself down to pull it. And he's like, "Oh, I'm 4."
What does that
The-
in squirrel years?
Well,
Or
so
better yet, rabbit.
I'm 8, and you know, if I was a human, I guess it'd be like one of those that I've seen about not quite 30 years, but more than 20, like in the middle there. Those
Pop, are you
those
older
folk.
than me?
I mean, I'm 8. So I mean,
My brain's a little broken.
How old are you, Ada?
I don't fully know. 20-ish?
Oh.
Give or take.
Sounds like Hop might be older than you.
I'm
Squirrel
8.
You're all young.
So, but never let age determine your maturity. I am, of course, very competent.
Northra, you're also quite
Hello.
young to me.
Fair, but all these are also quite young. I'm surprised they can even be on a ship.
Alright, so for the three or so days it's going to take to reach the sea, are you going to be resting on land and letting it take 4 days, or just barreling straight through for 3 days?
What is the general? How is everybody feeling about it? Because the party got a long rest recently, but don't want to make anybody angry.
How do
there a
our land options look so that I can present them with information of what it looks like to rest on land from what I looked at the map?
Roll a perception check.
Would it be a perception, or can I use my tools proficiency?
Sure, go ahead and
Yeah.
use your navigator's tools.
Yeah. I don't know if that's any better. Actually, it's like 1 point better. So I'm just gonna be like, if we rest on land, I'm just kind of curious. It's like, is it the middle of nowhere land, or does it look like comfortable land? I'm just gonna have to roll a d20 and add 2, because I have to. Let's see. That might be easy. Wow. Okay, 14, 15 with Cole there.
Yeah.
15.
For,
What are our
it
land
looks
options look like?
Yeah, it looks like all along the river, and you were able to kind of see a little bit of how the river looks just on your hike into town. It does look like there will be places where it's not going to be like crazy comfortable, but everybody could at least like lay out their bedrolls, spread out, get a fire going. You can't really have any fires, so you can't like fully cook things properly if you stay on the ship the whole time.
Is
But
it
it looks like you'll be able
forested?
to. Not really. It's mostly low-lying scrub, brush. On the.
Yeah, I have to see
Because
carry
remember,
more.
this is all of that like lava-y looking rock. So a lot of it
yeah.
is yeah.
If
If
I
it was
may,
forested, I know what I'd pick.
if I may, a bit of a suggestion. Since we have the opportunity to be on land for now, maybe taking the time to be on land, because once we get out to sea, there may or may not be that chance.
Very reasonable.
I'm in agreement if everybody else is.
As you kind of like come to a consensus, you find it's getting to be evening. The sun is setting. You do find a good place to make camp for the night. But then Aaron kind of is like looking far off into the distance in the north, and he's like, "Wait, what's that?" And very, very distantly, you hear just a dull, very distant thud, and so far distantly on the horizon, you see a flash of light, some reddish orange plume. Almost looks like a distant explosion, followed almost immediately by that dull roar that you heard. And the roar just very quickly dissipates, and you just see like it looks like a tiny trickle of smoke from here, but you get the sense that it's like very, very far away, but close enough for you to still be able to see what must be a very large fire.
Well, maybe not on land tonight.
Is it on land?
Unsettling.
Like, is it like inland that this was, or down the river?
Yeah, so the distance that this looks like days and days away from you to the north.
Okay.
The north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna look over at Adrune. It's like, can your canary go figure out what that was?
You know, sadly, my canary cannot make that long of a trip on its own. She's a bit... I don't know, she's a bit like one of those fluffy dogs. Can't be on her own for very long.
Did the light look any kind of similar to the one we saw before we found Siobhan?
Good question. It looks very different with the light that you linked to Siobhan's arrival. That seemed to be kind of rippling across the whole sky like northern lights. This was very much isolated to one location, and it just kind of is very reminiscent of what it looks like when something very big catches fire.
Is it nowhere?
Nowhere should be east of us, right?
It is not.
Let me look at this map.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's north and east. We're going
yeah.
southwest.
Yeah, the KG
Hap
just said it is
is,
not nowhere.
Hap's gonna climb to the top of the mast and just stare in that direction for a bit to see if I notice anything else.
Make either a perception check or a navigator's tools check.
I'm gonna go with navigator's tools again. That sucked. So that would be a 9.
Yeah.
I'm no longer 10 feet. I'm probably more than 10 feet away at this point.
Yeah, the smoke that you see, it makes it hard to gauge the scale of it, so it's kind of hard for you to tell exactly how close it is. But it looks like almost a precise shot, like straight north from where you are. But it could be a handful of days away from you. It could be 2 weeks away from you. You're just not sure of the exact distance.
Question. Do we know, like, does this place have volcanoes? Do we know about volcanoes?
You do know about volcanoes, yes.
Sorry, I didn't know what kind of topography this place had.
No, that's fine.
Does this remind us of a description of a volcano, perhaps?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I
Well-
don't know what exactly we could do about it.
Yeah.
Is there a volcano on the map?
No,
Doesn't look like it.
but I think they can appear.
Odrune, you don't see one on the map, but you know where there is one.
I do.
Yes.
I do. How do I know where there's a volcano?
Is it to the north, Adrune?
You know of it because it's supposed to be a dormant one, but there's one on the island of Falagur.
Oh, fuck. Well,
That's east, thankfully.
well, no, Falagur's almost
Well,
entirely north of where we are
actually-
right now.
Yeah, we're at the mouth of that river, or at least that's where we're headed, somewhere along that river. That is north.
Huh?
Because we're probably like around here or here,
Yeah, Falagur's
and
right
Falagur is
here.
here.
Oh, Oh yeah, you're right.
Shit. I really hope
Did
that volcano was not. It was supposed to be dormant.
in the vision we saw with the like divination orb, I know we saw fire. Did we see like volcanic fire?
Let's see. It was definitely reminiscent of volcanic fire, but it wasn't isolated to like just places where you know of volcanoes. It looked like there were some that were sprouting right from the ocean, some
Oh,
popping up
great.
out of mountains. Yeah, that seemed to be a widespread destructive event.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, once Odrin kind of connects the volcano, you see them absolutely like freak out. Just start shaking and standing there and just staring. Because they're so afraid of what might have happened to those people.
How many days away do we think we are from there?
I can try to figure it out back on the map. To
Yeah, I'll
Faliger.
double check the mileage distance.
I
it's
might.
in
I think I
your
know it.
appendix.
It's 660 miles. And I believe.
That was
Travel speed.
Yeah.
very exact.
Yeah.
Gotta look.
Well,
I gave certain people access to a table that has numbers.
Dang. I'm impressed. Alright, guys. Real math this time.
Yep.
Not just dice math.
But yeah, it's 3 or 4 days getting all the way to the Serpent Sea, and then a number of days getting north to Faliger.
Oh.
I guess we don't have any other choice but to go.
I would really like if I know we were. They're having a hard time getting their words out. I know that we were planning on going that direction, but can we please, even if we weren't planning on it, can we please? I just want to make sure they're okay.
I think we should.
Thank you.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask again. Are you sleeping on land tonight, or are you barreling straight onwards?
Will we be exhausted if we barrel straight onwards?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it won't make you gain exhaustion, though it could potentially be negative for crew morale if it goes on for too long and if you don't compensate them appropriately.
I think one night is fine. Just keep sailing.
Okay. And is that going to be for the whole journey to the Serpent Sea, or?
We could probably try sleeping on land like every other night. If it looks good, just to maintain morale until our rhythm is good. As a compromise to both speed and longevity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the first day that started with so much excitement has kind of turned into a very tense sort of night as you continue past the waypoint that you were going to be resting at. But you push forward through the next day. Things are a little bit more subdued. Tiff and Taff, anytime they're on a break, seem to be like braiding each other's hair. One of them is starting to like sing a little bit to try to keep everybody's motivation up and keep everybody on rhythm with the rowing. The next evening, you do find yourselves able to make landfall, and you are able to bring the ship onto the beach, bring it to a halt, anchor it, and you're able to rest there for the night.
Would we all
What
fit
is
in a
the vibe?
would we all fit in a 20-foot cube?
Oh, it was probably like something magical. I was like,
Surely.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Once we Once we
my little
know
body can fit in a little box, so
Pom Pom's small. Once we know
You could
where we're
squeeze
going to
everybody
be
into that.
sleeping, Ada's gonna cast alarm all around us. And I assume we'll still also have a watch, but she's like a little paranoid. So
Yeah, you get alarm set up, established. Anything else you do? What does it look like as you like make camp and settle in for the evening?
Odrin's trying to be normal, but there is that stress that you can tell, that there is a sinking feeling in their inside since they have no stomach. Sinking feeling on their insides that the worst has happened. The unimaginable has happened because this was not supposed to happen. And it's hard for them to grasp because it feels like this is all part of that Ragnarok prophecy that they have not wanted to believe for so long, and that they have poo-pooed and railed against, and all of a sudden it might have not only blown up in their face, but blew up on the one place that they actually cared about in this life. And almost in a weird way feels like kind of like what they were talking with Ada about, where it seems like sometimes the universe rips things away from you and makes you feel like it's your fault. And they almost feel like it was, if this is really what happened, that it was a punishment for everything that they had said to try to say that it wasn't real.
Make a religion check. 10. You feel the little knitted effigy of Palter in your bag as you're going through your supplies. You don't feel anything in particular from it, but you just remember that it's there.
Probably just sits there and kind of holds it like a little worry stone and stares off in that direction, just praying that it's not what they're dreading that it is.
Sorry.
you can go.
Call's gonna walk up to Odrun and he's gonna stand there. And he's got his scimitar that's new in his hands, and he's gonna go, "Can I sit here?"
Sure.
And he kind of sits there and shuffles, kneeling. And you kind of get the sense Call doesn't know what to do with this much emotion. I think that it's quite obvious. He just kind of looks at Odrun for a moment, and he sets down his scimitar in front of her and says, "Do you know why scimitars are curved?"
I actually don't. Why are scimitars curved?
They're curved because when you're attacking and you have a swooping motion, it's much better to attack the target in that pattern, and the curve matches the swooping motion. So you're more able to get the whole target. And he kind of sounds like a little kid. But In a way, yes, he doesn't know how to comfort, but he's trying to share something that makes him happy and really hopes that it helps Otrun. And he points out little things on the pommel of the blade and says, "This is why this is here, and you can see where this material is used by the blacksmith." And he goes, "I like having two of them, because I can watch my own back. And yours. And everyone else's."
Well, thank you for that. What made you choose scimitars? What draw you to them?
He leans forward and he says, "You can't tell anyone.
Cross my heart.
They look cool."
They look badass. I will agree with that. And you look amazingly frightful when you are fighting with them.
Smiles. And he keeps pointing out little nicks on the little sword, just to try and get your mind off of things.
Ojarun kind of remembers a little bit of what Cole was like from before and recognizes that this is Cole's way of trying and really appreciates it. Because getting your mind off of it, you're sitting in a longboat rowing, you got nothing to do but sink. So, this is, it's welcome to take their mind off it.
May I roll to see if Ada gets the vibe that Odrin's having those, like, ruminating, kind of self-blaming thoughts?
You're not sure.
She's just, yeah.
She could be.
Yeah.
She'd probably
They just
ask you
send
to hold story.
over. Yep. Yeah, that's Ada's go-to comfort, because she's not great at it. She gives a soft, fluffy thing.
Yep. So they'd put down the little effigy of Palter and start stroking story as they're just watching and looking at all the things that Cole's showing them. And then probably pull out the journal that they have from, just carrying around and open up part of it and say, okay, you can't tell people I have this because they'll expect things from it, and it's not always the most accurate. But this is a journal that is one of many that my ancestors have kept throughout all of my iterations. And this right here is a drawing of a weapon my ancestor used to use. And they open it up, and it's a pretty wicked looking scimitar. So at some point, I know they have this hidden somewhere in the world. So at some point, maybe you, me, and Hap can go find it. Because I have no use for it anymore, but...
You can tell he's biting back a grin. And he nods, and he's like, "We could do that."
Yeah. I'd love to see it in person again.
I'm gonna go Hap and then Northra. Hap, what are you doing as everybody settles for the night?
So, Hap is a little bit anxious about seeing that much fire. So what she's doing is she's trying to find the highest point in the area. Now I know you said it's mostly scrub brush, so I'm kind of curious what you would say is the highest place in the area.
I didn't roll
The
high enough
tallest
for there to be
point.
a tree.
Maybe the
You find
mast?
a reasonably sized shrub. The mast would probably be the tallest point you have available right now.
Okay. Do Viking ships keep their sails at the top or at the bottom?
At the top.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna squeeze myself into the little sail that's rolled up at the top. As I just kind of keep my face kind of like pointed in the direction that the fire came from. Just looking like I'm relaxing, but really just like pondering. Tiny bit on edge. Because we're going to the fire. Going to the fire. So yeah, I am bundled up in a sail at the top of the mast.
And Northra.
Northwood will go find her tiefling friend and is like, hey, come over here.
Oh, hello.
Come sit with me.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure about where we're headed to, but I'm glad I can be useful. It's nice to be useful.
You seem very useful. And your map was very useful too.
Thank you. I put it together when I was with my old crew, but of course they didn't want me around anymore. When I started to get weird, but it's nice to make new friends.
I understand exactly how you feel. I know a lot of the pain of the people you were with for so long just abandoning you.
Well, it doesn't always have to be bad. I mean, we could be friends. What's your favorite color?
Let's say red. What's yours?
Mine too. I always like when the sunset turns red.
Me too. I've always enjoyed the sunset. It's one of the only good views from when I was living in the bush.
Eagle seems to enjoy like just regular old small talk questions. But she settles her bedroll pretty close to Northra. Now, as the night goes on, the stars are very vibrant tonight. And a few things happen, which is what we're going to leave on. One, whoop, that's a little bit intense, but sure, we'll roll with it. One is Northra, you have a really hard time sleeping. And you just hear so faintly in the distance, just you're tossing and turning, and very distantly, just a weird kind of howl, a sound you've never heard before. But it feels like it's calling to you. So we'll resolve what you do with that information next session. But another thing that happens is Ada, also, as you fall into slumber, you start to hear whispers, just voices, just kind of echoing in your brain, kind of circling through your head. And it feels very connected to the source of your magic, but the same kind of primal energy that was urging you onwards. And you hear a man's voice say, "Hello, Ada." And that is where we are going to end our session tonight, everybody.
Oh, fuck!
Right.
This has been a session.
That it has.
Holy shit!
So,
I have to admit, playing Northro is fucking hard. Because I'm upbeat, positive, and Northro is the complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
all right. Thank you all for joining. What a great session. Beautiful role playing from everybody. Everybody take a point of inspiration. There, I remembered.
Woo!
Even more importantly, everybody take a level up.
Woo!
You are now level 3.
Yay.
Though you might regret You might regret saying yay to that because, as you might recall, as we discussed before this campaign started, level 3 is when we start implementing lingering injuries.
Oh,
So
fuck.
we'll discuss how those rules will work next time.
Oh
when
god.
we return. Our next session is next week on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I had a
shit.
blast.
Whew.
Please join us. You can always catch up on our previous episodes on YouTube. And yeah, we will see you next week. Have fun raiding, everybody.
Bye.